All right. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, my name is Roger Pascal. I'm the CEO of Real Impact Training Systems, also the CEO of subject2institute.com. So, but at Real Impact, we improve the quality of people's lives. Um, we do this through real estate investing. So, if you're an investor, this is why we give these free meetings two Sunday nights a month. Real Impact, we provide franchises, or we have franchises that provide you as a local real estate investor with networking and educational meetings on a local level. In other words, if you're looking to find information out about what's going on in the real estate business in your market, you need to come to a local meeting, whether it's an impact meeting or you're in another state. You can find those meetings on meetup.com. You can also find the meetings on our website. Let me pull that up and somewhere in here. I know it's here. There we go. So you find the meetings on our websites, and in addition to our monthly meetings, our franchise owners offer workshops and a variety of one-on-one mentoring programs that can help you no matter where you're at in your real estate journey. If you're interested in learning more about our training options, please reach out to one of our franchise owners. We'll have that banner across the bottom of the screen here in just a second, and you can see where we're at. So once again, meetup.com, just type in impact, see where we're at. So in a couple of minutes, we're going to have Gaby Lockhart on here. I'm going to introduce her in just a second, but I'm very excited about this. She does a lot of loans for us. She is a lender. And not the atypical lender. And we're going to talk about that tonight. So one of our primary objectives each Sunday night is to provide you with the opportunity to ask questions. So we're asking you to go into the chat and ask questions as we're in the chat. So there's no need to wait next week or tomorrow or whatever to pick up the phone and call somebody. Just ask us tonight, and we'll be glad to help you out with that. So I'm going to scroll on the bottom of the screen here, our locations. There we go. And let's add Gaby Lockhart with Victory Lending, Victory Home Loans on here. And welcome on board. Welcome on board. I'm so glad that you're on this call tonight. We've talked about this for a couple of weeks to get that aspect going. So Gaby, just tell us a real quick background, a little bio on yourself, and how you got into this business and how long you've been in this business.
My name is Gaby Lockhart. I'm actually originally from Germany, and I came to the United States in 2002 with my husband, Tim Lockhart, with the Air Force. And then we always were interested in doing real estate. And so we bought our first property in San Antonio. Then we moved to Virginia, to Langley, and bought a property up there and another investment. And we started going to investor club meetings. And then we got an assignment to Wichita Falls. And in Wichita Falls, we were looking for another real estate investor club. And we found Dennis Hinson. And I was just because we could go there in Arlington. Saturdays, Tim didn't have to work. And we could spend time with his parents and then go back home. So it was a great fit for us, and that was in 2008. So with the Investor Club, with Real Impact, with Dennis, we have been since 2008. I have become a licensed loan officer actually on March 5th in 2013. So I'm about to have my anniversary here. And I've been doing investing and with my husband, and we have been doing investor loans and home loans since then.
Very good. Very good. So once again, if you're on here, you would like to ask questions, feel free to put it in the chat. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, wherever you're at, it'll show up on our screen. You may not see if you're on Facebook, we have about 6 different Facebook groups or Facebook pages that this is on. And sometimes the questions will show up if they're asking from the same group you're in. Sometimes they won't. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask any questions here. So Gaby, I've been working with you and with our clients for, oh my gosh, probably 4 years now. And I'm just so freaking excited that you have found a home with Victory, because y'all offer so much for the investor, and you also offer for the long term, for the 30-year mortgage for the standard customers that, Linda Jean's is a realtor, so she has standard customers and she's referring them to you. They go very smooth. Not all loans are easy. We've
No.
had some that can be challenging for various reasons, probates and survey issues and title company issues, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the fun ones to talk about. They're not fun during the time, but they're fun to talk about afterwards. But so um, so tell us a little bit about what sets you apart from what sets you apart from the here's a question right here. So what sets you, why is it better to work with you as a lender than the typical bank or mortgage company, and what sets you apart from everybody else?
So as an RMLO broker, basically I have a lot more loan options. Even in the investor side, we have about 4 or 5 different investors. They are just doing investor loans, those typical DSCR loans, debt service coverage ratio. It's a long word. You have to learn it. I have to practice it. Yes. And some of them are very smooth, depending on the situation, but we do have to do different guidelines. We have to follow different guidelines. And every investor actually has a different guideline or different preferences on the loan. Some they say, well, I don't care if it cash flows. I still like it as long as it makes sense. And the other one go like, no, I want to have a good cash flow on it. So it just depends what the investor looks for. And I make the phone calls for you and basically negotiate the deal for you, finding out what is the situation, what we need to do, and make this all happen. So I have, also the conventional loan that you can use for investor loans. So we have a lot of options, and Victory is really known for making things possible. And manufactured homes, I mean, that was one of our biggest problems. If they have been moved one time, you couldn't do any more conventional loans on it. But this company that we have in place, they are basically going like, I don't care if they have been moved once or twice or 3 times. Let's make it happen. So those are the kind of things that we do with Victory, and it's just amazing to work with them.
Yeah, and I'm going to give a testimonial. We're working on one right now, trying to get it closed. It has a survey issue, and your company came back and said we can make this work. Where I honestly feel that most any other lender out there, and I don't know, but I think most any other lender I've worked with in the past would say, no. We, even if it takes us 6 months to resolve this, and it's not a big issue. It's just a really minor issue, and it's kind of how things are worded. But it can be, if you're going to anybody on this call, if they're going to a lender that's a traditional lender like a Wells Fargo or a Chase or Texas lending, whatever it may be, it can sometimes be a little bit more challenging, especially if you're an investor. So as an investor, how do we know how do we know what loan is best for us? Why do we know which one's correct for us and the deal that we're doing?
Well, it also depends on how you structure the loan from the beginning on. So if you come to me to refinance the loan out, that makes it a little bit more challenging because you may not have enough, you may offer too much money on the house, but we can still make it work most of the times because our people, the team that I'm working with, we want to get loans done. We are not in business for not doing loans. We are in business for doing loans. The underwriters work with us. They work not against us. and we work all together as a team. And sometimes the underwriter picks up the phone and says, hey, this is what I think we need to make happen. Can you bring me that page in, or that letter of explanation in, or this pay stub in, or that lease in, or whatever it is, that I can clear that condition. So underwriting and us as loan officers, we work together as a team, because they only get paid if the loan closes. I get only paid if the loan closes. Roger only gets paid when the loan closes. So as you see, we are all eager on making things work. And that's the difference why you should work with a broker. And because we don't get a paycheck if we don't close loans. So we are in business of closing loans, solving issues, solving problems. That's this week I talked to my boss and I said, hey, I need to do something here a little bit out of the norm. He said, you know what, Gaby, do it, because we are here to make a difference, and I'm okay with you. You have my full support on it.
Very good. Very good. So, I've been involved in loans where, it just makes me cringe when I've got a customer and they go, well, I found this wonderful deal on the internet and we've never heard of this company or whatever. And I've been in situations where the lender, we're trying to close on a Friday afternoon and the lender shuts down their office and goes home early. That never happens with you. That never happens when you build that relationship. This is part of what we teach in Impact is you're going to build a lot of relationships. And it's just the information you need is one phone call away. And in this case, it's Gaby saying, hey, I can think outside the box. So you've been amazing at, clients working with you and you're saying, well, let me look and see if we can make that deal work. So you've got to, you're actually working right now on a big commercial deal, and which is a phenomenal program. I'm involved in that. The buyer went to the local banks out there and went to the existing person that has that commercial deal mortgaged, and then came to you, and you've offered a program that is like 10 times better than anybody else can offer out there. And just a phenomenal deal there that you've got. You've got so many different lending options that are out there. I've never met in my life a lender that has so many different options for people. You got the traditional stuff, for the owner occupant like FHA and VA. You got all kinds of conventional stuff. You can do residential and commercial. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. We're going to talk about your other services that you offer. But, here's a big deal that we run into all the time is the average investor that I work with, they're essentially self-employed. And yes, it really makes it difficult. I remember before I got into real estate, my wife and I were going to go buy a house. And we went round and round through a traditional mortgage company. They were local. They were big mortgage, biggest in Tarrant County, but they were local. And we went round and round, and it was a place, it's about, 40 acres. And they kept telling us all the way through, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. And then they just came to the point and said, well, you're self-employed. Even though I owned a very large company, had 5 locations in 4 states, had hundreds of employees, but they said, you're self-employed. We can't lend you the money. And so we just said, well, we're just going to pay cash. And they're like, no, wait. If you're going to pay cash, and they followed us out the door, literally to the parking lot, trying to, by that time we were just done. We were just like, we are done with this. But you have so many different options for self-employed. Let's talk about those. Tell us what you got.
Actually, we do have a bank statement loan for self-employed. We have a P&L. We have just a statement from the CPA letter. We actually have loans for realtors because we know that realtors do not get paid every month. So we have different calculations. We just take the loan and make it possible. I mean, that's just what we do. The other thing is also we do have owner financing available. And
Wow.
that's really dear to my heart because um, my goal was to do owner financing. That's why I became a loan officer.
To do all the documents for that, to help out the investor for all the documents
Yes.
on the owner financing. Yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
Yes. So
So
basically, we send it to the title company, but the main thing is you have to have the buyer's paperwork correctly done. If you don't do the buyer's paperwork, it can bite you in the back as an investor. Did you know that?
yeah, absolutely. So and you also offer DSCR loans. So if you
Yes.
have if you have a rental property and you want to get it refinanced and you want to take advantage of that, and essentially walk us through a DSCR. What documents are you requiring for that, and how does that work?
Well, I'm gonna need the lease. I need the taxes and insurance. Um, and then I need the address. Basically, I get that from all that. And then I submit a loan application, which you can go on my website, gabylockhart.com. And then I start working on the numbers. And then you can tell me, we're gonna calculate out the debt income ratio on it from the appraisal. When the appraisal comes in, and we're also going to do a 1007 from the appraisal, that is the rental analysis. So the appraisal will go out and do an income calculation basically on rent. And so then we're going to put it back in underwriting. And if the numbers come back right, then you can either do cash out. Usually cash out is about 65% after repair value, calculate that in. And if it's just a rate and term, then 70%.
Oh wow, that's so if somebody has a rent house out there and they want to take advantage and they want to pull some of that cash out to do other things out there to make other things happen, the DSCR loan is really hot right now. You hear that all the time. I get, I have an impact site. I have an impact page and group where we meet over in Lindale, Tyler area, and I would say almost every day I have people that are trying to post lending options on the Facebook group, the Facebook page, whatever Facebook group. And I have to approve all the posts on there. And I will reach out to them and say, "Are you licensed in Texas?" And it's like silence, or sometimes I go, "No, I don't need a license." Well, you do have to, as a lender, you have to be licensed in the state of
For
Texas.
D for DSCR, no, you don't.
You don't have to do it for DSCR, really? I did not
No, you
know that.
don't.
Wow,
Now the
but most of the time
DSCR,
they're just yeah, most of the time that's not what they're getting to. But yeah, I didn't realize that you didn't have to be licensed for a DSCR.
for the DSCR, you do not have to be licensed. But if you don't know Texas, that can bite you it can bite you because the taxes and insurance are different, and there's a lot more stuff involved in Texas than in Oklahoma or
Mhm.
different states. Yes, but
Absolutely.
the
So
DSCR loans are not difficult to do. We may have some extra questions. You should own your own house. That's really important. So if you own your own house as a primary, that's very, very beneficial. If not, then you're going to have to sign at least 3, 4, 5 documentation that you are not moving into that house.
gotcha. So Cornelius here just asked the question: does your company offer asset based lending? I'm not quite sure what Cornelius is asking for there, but um,
Yeah, if you
can
can
you?
clarify that a little bit more, that would help.
So
But
as far as asset based lending, other than DSCR, Cornelius, we're not sure on that. If you can kind of clarify that in the chat. Um, so um, yeah, and it has to be real estate. I mean,
yes.
I'm sure you don't offer, lending on cars and lending on airplanes and stuff, but um,
No, but on mobile homes, yeah. If your mobile home is on leased land, we can do that. Yeah, then it's more, they go by the serial number on the mobile home, so
so
manufactured home.
you loan money on mobile home if they own the land. Do they have to own the land?
Even if they don't own the land, we can do it that way too. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can. It's called a shuttle loan, and so basically, if you don't own the land and you lease it, yeah, it goes on the serial number from the manufactured home.
How cool is that?
I know it was really unique. It blew my mind too when I heard about it. I'm like, really, we can do that too. And also, what we do is if you want to if you want to place the mobile home on the land, we have this also called kind of a little bit like construction loan, but we're gonna have that loan also available that you can buy a brand new home, a manufactured home, and place it on your land, and we will fund for that one. I
Now,
mean,
is there
hmm?
what kind of restrictions do you have? Is there an age limit on the mobile home? Is there how many times has it been moved? Is there anything like that?
The only age that we have it has to be after 1976.
Wow. Wow.
And
That's
it
like,
should be a double wide. Single wide there's a little bit more restrictions on the single wide,
are
but
there okay,
we
so
can
double
do,
wide.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah, single wide, we're gonna have to look more into guidelines and the value of the house. It should not be, it depends. Some of them they will do, some of them we just have to ask the questions if they can do it or not.
Wow, I had no idea. It's always a
Hmm.
big deal, especially, I do a lot of business in East Texas, and the mobile home thing comes up often, and I'm like, I don't, Wells Fargo used to loan on mobile homes, and then I just
Yeah.
found out about 3 weeks ago that you did, but I didn't know that. Most of the restrictions are can't be more than 10 years old, can't be moved more than twice, whatever those are. It has to be married to the land. In other words, you have to own the land to borrow, and all those things just got thrown out the window because you've
Yeah.
got some great lending out there. So
Yeah.
um and that counts towards investment lending too, or is that only owner occupied?
Yes, actually, it's we have one that does the investing also on mobile homes. Yes, just be aware that you cannot cash out a map you cannot do a cash out on a manufactured home.
Oh really? Okay. What about what is your a big thing right now is tiny homes. So is there a bottom to how much you write mortgages for? I mean, it's most lenders and have a bottom. So what is the lowest amount you can write a mortgage for?
I prefer to stay above 85,000. Otherwise, we're getting a little bit too expensive. But we can go down lower. Tiny homes. If you want to do a tiny home, it has to have a full kitchen.
Full kitchen is like stove and refrigerator.
It has to have a full kitchen, whatever you understand in the kitchen. I think microwave, stove, sink.
Oh yeah,
That's a full
well, of course.
kitchen. Yeah.
Okay, but not necessarily a dishwasher. I'm sure.
I mean, dishwasher, it's not really mandatory. I mean, but I think at
Yeah.
least a stove and a sink and some cabinets, and it has to say, yeah, it's a full kitchen. As long as it's a full kitchen, we can invest in it. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That that is.
we can also do like mobile home parks.
Mhm.
Individual, I mean, we prefer the individual ones, but yeah, we have, like I said, we have so many options. I have a training once a week where I learn at least one new program a week.
And that's online?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's online, but it's on Wednesday we have the winning Wednesday, and
Mhm.
Victoria has sent basically once a week we have a speaker who is going to be new on board with us and gives us the highlights of their programs. And we also do reverse mortgage. If somebody needs a reverse mortgage, we are getting into that one now.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's so many options on loans and opportunities, and I just love to learn the different opportunities and the different um, options to give to people to make sure that they really understand it all. So
Right.
it's great. Mhm.
So reverse mortgages only for owner occupants. You can't do an investment, you know, reverse mortgage.
Oh, no, you cannot do them in investment, but actually we can go down to 55 years. We will not have to be 62 anymore.
Really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, I mean,
Wow.
there's some, and you have to be one day a year in the property.
So, okay, well, I'm not going to go in there. That's something. If you're interested in that, talk to Gabi about it
Yeah.
because that's an interesting deal.
Yeah, there's
Um,
a lot of interesting things that we have the uniqueness on it. It just makes it so much nicer on finding the options for people. Yes.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, but you can
So,
also we can also loan money on your investments. So basically, if you have an investor portfolio, we can do the lending on that one. Maybe that
the
was the
portfolio
asset-based
loan.
question that we had. Yes.
Okay, absolutely.
Yes.
So, um, all right. So this is a great feedback from John, and
Thank
John
you,
and I are
John.
meeting tomorrow to look at a project. So I'm looking at having him do do a building job for me out in East Texas. So we're meeting tomorrow at I think
Actually,
11 o'clock. So
we're gonna have him actually being our contractor for being we getting him established right now on being a builder for us. So you can do a construction one-time close loan with us with Be Happy.
wow,
Yeah, we're
wow,
working on that one right now. So we need a few more documents going back and forth. And then, you can basically utilize us to get a loan and John can build a house. That's going to be a Be Happy day, right, John?
there you go. Absolutely, absolutely. So John is the guy in East Texas. I mean,
Yes.
he is just all over everywhere. You want to look him up, Be Happy Building. Look him up on Facebook. He's got a great Facebook page. Puts a lot of motivational stuff on there. And there you go. So what do you have here? So Gabi, get me a loan, get me some lending to build a barn on my farm. There you go. Absolutely. So that's kind of what we're looking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking at what our options are out there. Maybe moving my office from Lindale into a barn, make it nice. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So I'm excited about that and meeting John on that and
Yes.
working his wisdom. So you have investment loans, you have DSCR loans, you have reverse mortgages, you do VAs.
Yes, I love VAs. My
VAs,
favorite.
FHA, the VA and FHA are kind of more for your owner occupant thing. That's not really investment, but those are great to have. You do commercial lending, you do RMLO, which is um where's
Residential
my brother
mortgage
at here?
loan originator.
Right. So that is the documents if you're going to do an owner finance, if you're going to do a wrap or whatever. So you supply those documents for this. And you can do any loan in the state of Texas, right? So if you got a property that may be 100 miles away, whatever, or in Texas, it can be 800 miles away. So depending where you live. Um,
Yes.
so um, um, so any county anywhere in the state of Texas, you're authorized to lend all the different products that you have. I think you're working right now 3 or 4 deals just for my clients right now. So I'm very excited about that and
Me too.
what you're bringing to the table. And I'm telling you, anybody on this call, anybody listening into this later, is Gabi is really, really good at thinking outside the box because when issues come up or it's not a traditional lending type situation, she'll come back and say, well, have you thought about this? Or, I've done some research and I found that we can do it this way. And in the investment business, we have so many times that people, investors, I say people, investors, just 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 deal with the wrong people and they just lead them on and lead them on and lead them on. And I've had, I've literally gone to the closing table with a lender one time, and it was an owner occupant buyer. They were buying a HUD house. I was representing them on buying a HUD foreclosure, and we literally were like 4 hours away from closing. We're going to close that afternoon. That morning, we get the call, and the lender calls us and says, "Oh, we're not licensed to sell FHA loans. And I'm like, who does that? Who does not know what kind of loan they have to offer? And it was a big outfit. So I kind of got a feeling they probably got in trouble or something. I don't know. But it was an FHA rehab. They weren't licensed to the FHA rehab, and they just thought they were. So, this is why you build relationships. This is why anybody on this call, we build relationships, because we want to make sure that, yeah. So we want to make sure that you're building the right relationships, that you have the right deal. I want to throw this out there because I misspoke a while ago. John, not to panic you. We're not meeting tomorrow. We're meeting Tuesday. I said tomorrow on there. I'm sorry. So I'm sure you're over there laughing right now. So I hope so. Trying to go through your notes. Was it tomorrow or was it Tuesday? So it is Tuesday.
Yes.
I just looked at my calendar and realized that. So, but like I said, it's been so simple. Now I need to make sure people understand on this call. Maybe it's a warning. I don't know, but Gaby is 100% business. Okay, you tell her I will have you that document this afternoon, and you better have it that afternoon. If not, she's gonna call you and say, you told me you were gonna have me that document. This whole thing is hinging on you getting me that document. Are you going to get me that document or not? And I've been in a couple of those conversations, and that's what you need in this business. And you'll get close. You'll get your property. And you'll get closed on time. So
Yes. And I
and
keep everybody informed also throughout the process. So if there's an issue, you get a message. I'm not going to wait until you call me to find out that there's a problem. If there's a problem occurring, I call and text right away. Right, Roger?
absolutely, absolutely. So
Even if it's
yeah,
8 o'clock at night. Or-
that's right. So and like I said, it's just in my part of the business, and with my realtor hat on, and my investment hat on, and working with other investors, and my consulting hat on, working with students. uh, um, I'm telling you that we have a deal in impact that Dennis has put together, and it's asking questions to the lender, because you got so many of these people out there that I can lend to you, and you find out they're not a lender. They think they can get you hard money. They think they can get you private money, whatever it may be, and send me $500 and I'll get you a loan. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Never.
Those are
Never.
the crooks out there. They make money off getting $500 from people that are not educated. So 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 like I said, it is it is an incredible experience to work with professionals, and how much easier your life can be when you are working with professionals. And
Yeah.
so there's so many lenders out there. All they're looking for is to get that one-time deal, and then they go on and they never pay attention to their past clients after that. Gaby will continue to offer you other things. Hey, we just had this come up. She does that with me often. Hey, we just started this. We just did this. And it's like, oh, great. That's something that I can pass on. That's something that I might be able to use, or whatever it may be. And so so there you go. So Kim is asking, do you offer proof of funds for the deals? You've got that on your website. Tell them about that.
We have proof of funds letters.
Yeah. So on your website, they can go
It's not on
in.
this one. It's not on this one. It's on Blazing Star Capital. That's our
Okay.
that's
So,
the
but
business
still
that
reach
I've
out to
been led.
Gaby. She can have you where they can go in, and you essentially can get a pre-qual letter. So you can get
Yes.
that to them, proof of funds, as what Kim was asking just now. And so you want to reach out to Gaby. You want to reach out and make sure that that she has that you can make that happen. And I just thought of something. Um,
If you
um,
pull a proof of funds, let me just clarify that one. I like to
mhm.
run with you through the numbers first before you pull the proof of funds letters out, because sometimes the seller calls me, and if I have no idea what that you pulled it out in that moment, because they called me before I got into the office to look at my emails, I like to see, let me at least know what you're doing and that you really know what you're doing, because sometimes that can backfire.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, um, and there we go. Okay, so I just put in the chat your phone number, and I'll put it on a banner too. Um, so 704. It's really sad in today's society how I don't know phone numbers. I, I,
940
I can tell
70.
you a
Yeah,
phone number from the I can tell you a phone number from the 1980s and 1990s, but I don't even know my brother's phone number. That's pretty sad. But I do know his landline number from the 1980s, and I remember I've got customer numbers in my brain from the 80s and 90s that I can call and just take that off the deal. So so Kim is asking where are you located and can you send me your phone number? Okay, well, she's in Texas. She has her and her husband also own the Impact training sites in Wichita Falls and Denton, Texas. They spend a lot of time. They own properties in Tarrant County. They own properties all over West Texas. They what's great about Gaby is they do what we do. Their lender, she's a lender that also has investment properties. They have midterm rentals, they have long-term rentals, they do fix and flips, they have condos, they have so many things going. They know what the investor is looking for. And so she's always out
exactly.
looking for that for that to happen. So
It's
like
really
I said,
important that you will. It's really important as a lender to understand what you want to do, and so just tell us what you want, what you want. Just give me an
right,
idea so I can help you, because that's when I start thinking. When you start talking, I have my pen and paper ready and I take notes. And then
right,
I'm thinking, then I go back and then I may call you back like, did you talk about this or did you mean this part? Because I'm still thinking in which directions I'm going to take you. Because my
right.
goal is to get your deal closed and not just an answer that we cannot do it or we can do it or which direction. And sometimes I may send you to a local bank because the relationship that we have with local banks. So I'm not always the best option, just that you know that. If I cannot do it, I will find a solution for you who can.
Very good. Very good. So reach out to Gabi. We're going to wrap this up. We're already coming up on our time frame. Really appreciate everybody being on here. Want to make sure we don't have any more comments on here. Thanks for the number. We got your phone number on there.
Yep.
I'm telling you that if you want you want a loan done right, and she'll tell you here are your options, and this one may work better for you than than in other areas. So Kim has just put a comment on here. She recently moved to Dallas. She's interested in investing in Denton, Texas. So
Awesome.
reach out to Gabi and let her know that what you're looking for. They know the Denton area inside and out. They're there. Her husband Tim uh, is an investor. He's also a realtor, and he works with a lot of investment clients as being a realtor, and
Mhm.
he has some great resources on finding deals. And you can reach Tim through Gabi. But So if you're Kim, so you're looking to buy in the Denton area, you definitely want to reach out, build that relationship with Gabi and her husband Tim, and they can just make this thing happen. So just to recap on this, Gabi's a lender. Gabi has a ton of different products for the investor or the owner occupant. So if you're looking if you're in a house, you're looking to refinance, if you're over 55 and you want to You want to do a reverse mortgage on there. Was it 54 or 55?
55. And actually, you can pull money out of your house and then you can use it for investment. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. So is there on a reverse mortgage, is there a limit on, do you have a prepaid penalty or anything on that?
No, there's not. You cannot have prepaid penalties on the primary home.
So it's just a reverse mortgage is essentially it's sponsored through FHA, I think. Am I correct on that?
Yes, it's correct.
It's an FHA product. What kind of documentation would you need for a reverse mortgage?
A lot.
A lot.
And you have to go through, yeah, and you go to counseling and all kind of stuff. So that's not an easy process to do the reverse mortgage. But I forgot to tell you, we do have the Texas HELOC also.
Oh, do you really have a HELOC for homeowners?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
That just came 2 weeks ago on the market, or 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah.
All right. So, I have a HELOC on mine. And it's just a great source. I was coaching a realtor, one of my clients, she's a realtor that I've trained. I was coaching her just last week, and she was going to go to Wells Fargo and she's buying a house, and it's kind of a subject to thing. She's picking up the loan. She was going to give the seller a amount of cash at closing because there's a lot of equity in the house. And then she needed cash for a rehab, and she's going to go to Wells Fargo, and she was just the cash that she was going to give to the seller. I think it was like $75,000. And Wells Fargo was going to charge her just under 12% interest on that loan. And I said, you need to get a HELOC. And I said, well, how much equity do you have in your house? She said, I've got about $450,000 in equity in my house. And I'm like, yeah, you need to get a HELOC, keep it low so you don't get, but use that for your business. And I said, they're probably going to be about half that price of Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo had a prepay penalty. A HELOC never does. And you can pull that, I said, you can pull that money out to pay her. And what you've told me about the rehab, you can pull the money out to do your rehab. And then, if you get it refinanced or whatever, you just pay your HELOC back. So most of my customers that I'm coaching on investments, I ask them really look in. They got equity in their house, really look into getting a HELOC, because you can use that as just a line of credit, home equity line of credit. And it can't be used on investment properties. I mean, you can't draw from investment properties. You have to do it in the owner occupant house. So the house you live in, you can do a HELOC on. You can't do a HELOC on a rent house. So, just and use that, and it's cheap and it's simple interest. You're not paying a mortgage, or you're not paying amortized interest on that. You're paying just a base interest amount on it. And you only pay interest on what you're borrowing. You don't pay interest on what your limit is. And, I've been using a HELOC for probably 15 years, for my business. And it so I don't have to worry about, I need $30,000 to do this project. Do I go out and find private lending on that? No, I just draw it from the HELOC. So that is a great I had no idea you did HELOCs. That's
3 weeks ago. Like I said, we have every week we have training coming out, and new product coming out, and there was a new one that came out. And last week we talked about the reverse mortgage that you can also use as a line of credit for investment. So it's a great idea and the good thing is on that one, credit does not matter. It's just a matter that you have basically equity inside the house. That's a good thing about it. So, there's a lot of great products that we can talk about when you have a question, and then we're going to make a decision what's the best thing to do and what not to do.
Right. All right. And I'm putting in the chat button right now, your email. So it's over on the chat end of it. But look up her website. You can contact her through her website, call her. Great source of information I learned so much tonight on this call, Gaby, about the products that you offer. I know a lot of products you offer because you're working, we've been working together for a while. And I've known you and Tim for better part of 10 years. By the way, I'm not offering this to anybody, but Gaby's one of the best cooks I know. I'm telling you, she is. I don't. Tim is like the trimmest guy you could see. I mean, he's retired Air Force, but he's trim and he I'm not. But if Gaby, if I lived next door to Gaby, I'd be twice as big as I am because her food is just fabulous. She's had it at some of the real estate meetings. I've eaten at her house. But I'm telling you, I don't understand why Tim is not 500 pounds. It just doesn't, I just don't understand that. So Tim's got more self-control than I could ever have because her food
he has a good metabolism also. So
he does. I guess he does. So, but yeah, I'm telling you that they can help you with your real estate coaching. Tim is a realtor. He can help you find investment properties. He's extremely strong in the DFW area, extremely strong in Wichita Falls. He knows that market. Gaby is my lender. I mean, she is my go-to gal. Somebody needs lending. I'm saying you need to call Gaby, and she has done on my Lindell meeting out there, my Lindell Tyler meeting. I don't know how many people you've done stuff for, but you've got like 5 working right now that I know of, 4 or 5 that are working right now, just out of that little group that I have. So, you make it happen. So thank you so much for being on this call tonight. I really appreciate everybody. I really appreciate everybody that is on board tonight. And John, I'll see you on Tuesday. And Kim, thank you for reaching out. Welcome to Texas. I don't know where maybe you moved within Texas. I don't know, but welcome to the Dallas and Denton area. It's a great area to invest in, and you need a good lender. So you need to reach out to Gaby.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. Good deal. So Gaby, thank you so much for being on this call tonight. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're at our 45-minute period. And thank you everybody for being on here tonight. And it will be on YouTube if you want to come back and review anything that she has. Good deal. Thank you
very much.
You bet.
Bye.
Bye-bye.